Okay, hi everyone and welcome to lesson 7. This is a continuation of lesson 6 where you did a vertical stacking with 3 pictures. What we're going to do now is just have a vertical stack with another vertical stack, and these 2 vertical stacks are inside a horizontal stack. So if you look over here, you can see I have a horizontal stack, and inside it I have 2 vertical stacks, and then inside the vertical stacks I have 3 buttons. So that's these 3 pictures here, that's these 3, and then inside this vertical stack I have another 3, and I've used my same pictures again, and then here I've just put a label at the top. Okay, so this is what we're going to make today. Okay, so let's start like usual. File, new, project. I click next. I'm going to call this stacking 7 because I've done this a lot of times before. Next, create. Now the first thing I want to do is I want to get my pictures. So I'm going to go to Assets. I'm going to go to Finder. And as you know, I have all my pictures here. So I'm just going to take a number of these pictures and I'm going to drag and drop them. These are all the pictures we've been using for the last few lessons. So I've got my images in there, so I'm good. Now I go back to main storyboard. And if you remember from the simulator, it's a horizontal stack with 2 vertical stacks inside it. So the first thing I want is a horizontal stack. So I go stack, horizontal, and I'll drag that out. There's my horizontal stack. Now inside that, I want 2 vertical stacks. Here's the vertical stack, so I'm going to drag. I can drag it on the screen, but it gets a little bit tricky, so I prefer to go up here. And now that's not inside it. What I need to do is click and drag it to there. See when the blue line changes? Now it's inside it. That can be tricky to do. So I need the next one to be inside it as well. I drag it up, now that's inside. So far so good. I've got my horizontal stack and my 2 vertical stacks inside it, as you can see. Now, inside the first one, I need 3 buttons. So, this button is here automatically. So I'm going to drag a button up there. First button is inside. Second button is inside. Third button is inside. Then I go to the second vertical stack and I drag in 3 more buttons. Okay, that didn't work. Sometimes dragging it doesn't work, but that's okay. Now it's inside, first one. Second one. And number 3. So I'm happy enough. So now I've got I'm getting there. Now I'm going to add the images to all these buttons. Still doesn't look that pretty, but we're working on it. So I go to image and I put in the first picture of the bird. We've seen this before. Then I go to image and I put in the second one. Image, and I put in the third one. I'm going to the next button and I put in the 4th one. And I put in, I'm not going to use number 5 because I know that it's a bigger image. It's not the same size, so I'm just going to change that. And I put in bird 7. So, okay, now that we have our images in there, and it looks pretty nice. So, first thing we want to do is the horizontal stack. We want this to be aligned in the center, both vertically and horizontally. We've done this already in a previous video. So we click on the alignment tool, and we add the 2 constraints. So that aligns this stack, the outside container, if you like. So everything is aligned horizontally and vertically in the stack. Then I can put a space between the... next thing I'm going to do on stack view 1, I want to put a space between these pictures. So I can put a space here of 30. And you'll see it puts a space between the pictures. Then I'm going to do the same for the second one. So it gives us a nice space. Then on each image, I'm going to get rid of the text. We're not going to use any text. I'm just going to delete it on each of them. Because it is there, but you can't see it. And it's kind of messing it up a little bit. So I'm going to delete on each image and get rid of the text. Okay, now let's go and add a label. Okay, and we're just going to say pick a bird. We make this size 60. That's good. And I'm just going to expand that out so it's plenty big. Okay, let's go and look at this. Okay, a few things we probably have to fix up yet, but let's have a look at what we have done so we know where we are. So obviously this needs to be horizontally centered. I would like a space between the pictures here also. So that's the 2 things we've got to fix up. We've got to fix up our label and the spacing. So let's go back. So on this stack view, we put a space between the images. Now we want to put a space between the stacks. If you look at them like this, when I'm in the horizontal, I can put a space down the middle. And I'm going to use the same value again of 30. I'm on the horizontal view, and this 30 will put a space between this vertical stack and this vertical stack. So we look at that. So that's a nice space. And then the last thing I need to do is for the label, I need to horizontally put it in the middle. So that looks good. Then I want it always to be above this. Okay? And I want it, this is a gap of 30. So I want that gap to be bigger here so it stands out. So I want a gap between the top of these images and the label of 50. So I'm going to add a constraint here. And I'm going to say for on the label, I want the bottom value here. I always want it to have 50 pixels of a space down to its nearest neighbor, which will be the horizontal stack. So I've added that constraint there. And let's have a look at this again. Okay, we're pretty happy with that. That's nice and professional looking. And then obviously on these buttons we can link these buttons to other screens later. Okay? Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you at the next lesson. Bye-bye.